What do you think about this phenomenon called cancel culture? Because I don't think it existed before. Is it something new, or is it different, or what's your take?
To me, cancel culture is a red herring. It's like political correctness in the 90s. Political correctness came out, political correct. I was like, why is it political correct? One guy said one time, I said, I'm not interested in being politically correct. I'm just interested in being correct. And the reality is, a lot of that's just, it's designed for people who really want to. And you want to be careful with messing around with cancel culture, because a lot of times it plays into the hands of the right people who actually want to disrespect people, who want to, who want to be feeling to disregard and see people as less than human. Cancel culture to me, some people, the cancel culture started with the Me Too movement. And that's how, that's the term kind of came into being with the Me Too movement and stuff. And it kind of went with the race movement and stuff. Some of those people got canceled, probably should have been canceled. There were sexual harassers and things like that as well. So, they were doing, odious things. Then that, like Harvey Weinstein, things like that, they were canceled because of the things they had done. And I think to me, that is just basically dismissing people and holding people accountable for their behavior. Cancel culture doesn't mean you can't speak your mind and those type of things as well. It's just, it's like this cancel culture saying, if you cross the line, and if you misbehave, like any society, if you cross the line, you murder somebody, you're going to be prosecuted. Okay, if you rape somebody, you're going to be prosecuted. If you assault somebody, you're going to be arrested. So that's what that's anything else. Like that's what cancel culture means to me. If you cross the line, there'll be consequences. That's what it's saying to me. And I'm saying I don't see anything necessarily wrong with that. And how you define cancel culture, there are people look at it in different ways. There are people who feel that they're using it as they're trying to weaponize it to appeal to their audiences. And things as well. As well.
Yeah, I agree. There are things that you should be held accountable for. Everything you say can be used against you in the public sphere.
Exactly.
That's what we had, social media. I'm able to do something. I remember when I was coming up, Dr. Watson, of course I wanted a radio show, but who could afford a radio? Who could afford the equipment in order to do a radio show? So now its accessibility is there, and anyone can start a radio show. And even if I could have started one, how do I get an audience? How do you build an audience? Well, look at us. We fast forward. We got social media. We're able to create audiences. We got over 150,000 people on YouTube, But with that comes scrutiny, right?
Yeah.
You got all these ears now, and guess what? Those people can talk back. Because those people have accounts and they have their own platforms. And maybe they may be smaller, but all of them put together will equal your platform. So,
and once you say something, my mother said one time, a pastor told her years ago, once you say something, your words become property of the world. So once you say something, that's it. You better get it, because once you say something, it's out there. And nowadays, more than ever, particularly with social media and Cordy, you can say, I didn't say it all I want, but they got to go back in there and say, here it is. You said it. End of story.
You're right. Once you say it, the world owns it. Yeah, I get it. Exactly. And sometimes I gotta tell myself that, because it's like I'll say something in a video, because I do a show out like 3-hour shows on Fridays, right? And I'll be talking because I'm by myself talking, and I got callers and I'm talking a lot, and there's no script. So I got to always be cautious of what do I say, because in the moment you can say something. And later, people, it's memorialized. It's there forever. So, yes, with great freedom comes great responsibility as well. And I think sometimes people, with cancel culture, I'll just add this, and of course you can have the last comment on this, but I'll say intentions matter. And most reasonable people can tell when you're being malicious, right? And as opposed to when you are, talking and you mean really no harm, and people take offense, because people can be offended by anything, right? But as long as they see it coming from a good place, most people who are fair players or not bad actors, good people who don't have an axe to grind, who aren't following an agenda, they typically give you a little bit of room.
And they're forgiving too. If you make something if you make a mistake, like the woman at Howard University when Kamala Harris, I think she was a journalist about a year ago, said her sorority sister screeched, and black people like, oh no, girl, what are you saying, whatever. So she said in the Washington Post she made a mistake, and that was it. And they said she apologized, and that was it. It was a one-day story. She moved on. The problem is when people try to dig in their heels and say, they get defensive about. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. That's the bottom line. Just say you made a mistake. Okay, I'm sorry, and be genuine in your apology and move on. And I think a lot of times the people who try to dig in their heels and try to justify and go back and forth, that makes the things worse, and it diminishes your credibility and your ethics and everything else. It's just like sometimes if you make a mistake, just say I made a mistake. I move on. It's like the person, if you bump into somebody on the street, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and most people gonna say, okay, no problem. But I didn't bump into you. What you talking about? I didn't bump into you. You bumped into me first. That's what I'm saying. You right. I'm trying to make. That's crazy. I mean, you just escalating something that you started for, because you were the one that fought at that. So I mean, people gonna be less forgiving and have less respect for that.